We're going to do a little experiment. Tap your pen on the table whenever I read the word the. The goal is to make your pen tapping a naturally occurring response to seeing the word the. If you haven't already started tapping, tap now. The. Good job. Classical conditioning is a type of learning that had a major influence on the school of thought in psychology known as behaviorism. Discovered by the Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov, classical conditioning is the learning process that occurs through associations between the environmental stimulus and the naturally occurring stimulus. Although classical conditioning was not discovered by a psychologist at all, it had a tremendous influence over the school of thought in psychology known as behaviorism. Behaviorism is based on the assumption that all learning occurs through interactions with the environment. The environment shapes behavior. It's important to note that classical conditioning involves the placing of a neutral signal before a naturally occurring reflex. In Pavlov's classic experiment with the dogs, the neutral signal was the sound of a tone, and the naturally occurring reflex was the dog salivating in response to food. By associating the neutral stimulus with the environmental stimulus, the presenting of food, the sound of the tone alone could produce the salivation response. In order to understand more about how the behavior of classical conditioning works, it's important to be familiar with the basic principles of the process. Now, I wonder how many of you tapped the pen whenever I rang the bell, or whenever the word was bolded red. Did you notice if you tapped your pen for the word to as well as the? If you did, you were classically conditioned to do so.